Good morning, grade 10 math wizard. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the probability of simple events. Our learning competencies is illustrate events, union, and intersection of events. For you to be able to understand the concept of probability of simple events, these are the terms that you need to remember. First is we have probability. Probability is simply a numerical description of likely is something to happen. So probability is something to do with a chance. It is the study of things that might happen or might not. It doesn't tell us exactly what will happen. It is just a guide. We use it most of the time, usually without thinking of it. Like for example, predicting the weather, winning the lottery, card games, and so on and so forth. So probability is all around us. It does influence our lives every day. We should not ignore analyzing small probabilities. They seem significant, but oversight, this may deprive us happy ending. So life is a probability and probability is life. Next is we have experiment. Is any activity performed wherein we arrive at a desirable outcome. So like for example, we have tossing a coin, rolling a dice. Next is we have sample space. It says here that it is the set of all possible outcomes. Like for example, in tossing a coin, head and tail, these are the sample space. Next is event. It is a subset of simple space. Example is getting an even number or getting a tail. And last is we have simple event. It is an event with a single outcome. These are the following terminologies that you need to remember. Now let's proceed with the formula in finding the probability of simple events. So we have probability of event is equal to n of e, wherein n of e is the number of favorable outcome to event e, all over ns, wherein ns is the total number of possible outcome, or in other words, it is our sample space. So let's have the first example. What is the probability of getting both heads if two coins are tossed? In here, let's identify and list the possible outcomes of tossing two coins. So first is we have two head and a tail and a head, and two tail. So let's identify the value of our n of e, wherein it is the number of favorable outcome to event e. And based on the list of possible outcome in tossing two coins, there is only one outcome with two heads. Since there is only one outcome with two heads, therefore our NE is equal to 1. Now let's proceed with our n of s, or these are the possible outcome or simply our sample space. In here class, there are 4 total possible outcome in tossing two coins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, the value of our n of s is equal to 4. And now let's substitute the value of our NE and n of s into our formula. So we have the probability of event is equal to n of e all over n of s. So by simply substitute the value of our n of e and n of s into our formula, we will arrive at 1 all over 4. So the probability of getting both heads if two coins are tossed is equal to 1/4. Okay? So now let's proceed with our second example. A 6-sided die is rolled. Find the probability that a die shows a number greater than 4. Now let's identify and list the possible outcome of rolling a die. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's identify the value of our n of e, or the favorable outcome. Since ang hinahanap dito is number greater than 4, so therefore we have 5 and 6. So the value of our NE is equal to 2. Since we have 6-sided die, therefore the value of our n of s is equal to 6. Now let's substitute the value of our n of e and n of s into our formula. Okay, so we have 2 all over 6, or in lowest term we have 1 over 3. Since the GCF or the greatest common factor of 2 and 6 is equal to 2. Therefore, 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1 and 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Therefore, we arrive at 1 over 3. So, the probability that a die shows a number greater than 4 is equal to 1 all over 3. Now, let's proceed with our third example. A deck of cards contains cards numbered from 1 to 81. If a card is picked at random, what is the probability of picking a card with a number that is divisible by 5? So here, class, let's identify or illustrate the card contains numbered from 1 to 81. In short, we have 1, 2, 3 up to 81. Now, class, let's identify the value of our N of E, wherein N of E is the favorable outcome, which is divisible by 5. So, let's illustrate and list all the possible outcome when we are picking a card with a number that is divisible by 5. So, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75 up to 80. So these are the favorable outcome of the events. So let's count if how many numbers that are divisible by 5. So we have 16. And the value of our N of S, since the total number or our sample space is equal to 81, therefore the value of our N of S is equal to 81. So by simply substitute the value of our N of E and N of S in our formula, we will arrive at 16 over 81. So wala nang lowest term, therefore the final answer is 16 over 81. Now, let's proceed with our fourth example. A class has 18 boys and 9 girls. What is the probability that a randomly selected student is a girl? So, in here, class, let's identify the value of our N of E, wherein it is the favorable outcome of our event. So, in here, class, our favorable outcome is selected student is a girl. Therefore, in our problem, there are 9 girls. So, the value of our N of E is equal to 9. And the value of our N of S is equal to, since we have 18 boys and 9 girls, in total, we have 27 students. And by simply substitute the value of our N of E and N of S in our formula, we have 9 all over 27. And in lowest term, we have 1/3 since the GCF of 9 and 27 is 9. Therefore, we can divide it by 9. And 9 divided by 9 is equal to 1. And 27 divided by 9 is equal to 3. Therefore, the lowest term of 9 all over 27 is equal to 1/3. So, the probability that a random selected a student is a girl is equal to 1/3. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from these videos. See you later at our video conference. Thank you and God bless.